What's going on, guys? Matt over here with Lethal Garage, and today I want to talk about broken cars. No, not broken cars, broken drive shaft. So as you guys know, full built Camaro. It's actually still on the trailer right now, straight back from Famosa Raceway. And it's just something I gotta kind of sit back and talk about, because a lot of people are gonna be like, what'd you expect? You're running a stock drive shaft. Yeah, there's a lot of things on my car that are still stock. And there's a lot of reasons why I've left them stock, and I just want to touch on that a little bit because I'm sure people will have questions or wonder why certain things happen the way they do. And the biggest thing is when you're building your car, you kind of take a look and watch what other people are doing. So I've been watching quite a few 6th gen Camaros that are pushing power that I'm at and well beyond, running way faster times than my car can. And a lot of them are still running stock drive shafts, stock transmissions, stock differential, etc., etc. Some have aftermarket drive shafts, some have aftermarket half shafts or axles in the rear. And mine, like I have my drive shaft shop half shafts, which are rated at, I believe, 1,400 horsepower, and they have not been the problem. They have been holding strong. They've been doing great. But I do have stock diff. I have stock drive shaft, stock transmission. I mean, it is tuned. The shift points are tuned in my transmission, but for all intents and purposes, it is a stock, mostly driveline. Again, the motor's forged, everything. We're making pretty close to double the power that the car has stock from factory. I mean, it's within 5%, 10% of that right now at the crank. And, you know, 747 at the wheels, or 748 if you round up. That all being stated, I broke my drive shaft, and kind of walking through the process again, you know, the day at Famoso, the plan is to learn how to drive the car and hopefully get comfortable with the car to be able to run a 9-second pass, which I truly believe this car can do with the power it's outputting and everything that I've done to it, traction, running the front runners, all that stuff. I believe this car can run a 9999. Did it run it yesterday? No, it definitely did not. The best I did was a 10.27, which I don't think is a terrible number, but it's not the worst. And I will say the converter, you know, we put the new converter in to help with the 60-foot, and the car launches like a freaking rocket. And even then, I have not been able to launch in full power. So my best run, I launched at 1,800 RPM. Ryan was like, let's test around 2,000 to 200. It was a long day. We were sitting in line for hours at a time waiting to race because track would break down, timers weren't working, other cars were breaking down. It was just kind of frustrating. So when I got to the line, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to launch at 2,400 and let her eat. And I had problems at the staging line. I broke the line, I red lit, and I red lit, and then I stomped on the brake, re-revved it, and then I got into it again at 2,400, and it just snapped. And here's a little video of it snapping. You could just hear it. It's not pretty. Come on, baby. But yeah, stock drive shaft snap. Now, I have always planned to upgrade the drive shaft. I knew it was the weakest link, or one of the weakest links in the full flow of my vehicle. And because I have the axles, I wanted to pair it up with the drive shaft. Unfortunately, when I was looking to buy one, drive shaft shop was having a supply issue, so they weren't even available. So I was waiting for them to come back in stock, and my theory was I'll just drive with it how it is, because there's tons of other Camaros out there that are running 900 plus horsepower, way 200 more horsepower than my car. But what I did find out is they're not trying to launch their car at 2,400 RPM, or at least the ones that I know of. And I think that was what did it in this time around. And yeah, stock drive shaft snapped. So I am planning to get the drive shaft shop aluminum one-piece drive shaft. Yes, there are things to consider when going with a one-piece over the setup that comes stock. It will make potentially more noise. It could vibrate. I don't know. I've never driven a car with a solid one-piece setup. So, but I've heard people say you know, if you like the cam, or if you like the converter you have, a single piece drive shaft is not going to bother you whatsoever. So I don't think it's going to be a bad thing. We'll see, but it will be rated for, I think their aluminum is rated for 1,400 pounds, and I think it's 20 pounds lighter than the stock. So losing some weight on the car, get a drive shaft that should be able to handle the power. It does come with a 1-year warranty, so we'll throw it on the car. We'll see how it performs, and hopefully at that point we can get back out to the track and get some fast times. So, but I will say the converter allowed me to drop my 60 foot by 0.2 of a second. I got into the 1.4s. I had a 1.47 and then a 1.427. But again, that 1.427 that was launching at it was like 1,500 RPM, and then the 1.47 was like 1,500. The 1.42 is like 1,800. And so I think 2,000 to 2,200 will get me easily in the 1.3s. We'll have to see. You know, it's just all about launching into the power. You know, a Pro Charger, the power doesn't kick in until, you know, the 3,000 range. So revving the car up and getting to that point and just getting into the power that much quicker is just going to boost my 60 foot that much more. And, you know, that's kind of the, you know, that's the argument again, going with like a Pro Charger versus a Whipple or a Maggie or something like that, a top mount supercharger. So those cars they launch in their power regardless, and usually converters aren't required that much for those ones. They can just launch harder as is. So it's, you know, the downside of going with a Pro Charger. And I think the cost benefits are there as well. Like a Pro Charger, from my experience and looking at things, is a little bit cheaper, but you know, you got to go spend $1,000 on a converter if you want to launch into power properly. And I will say, I mean, look at this launch. I mean, it is launching in power now. I'm getting thrown back in my seat. It feels so good. I really, like, I had my 0 to 60 timer up all day, but like, my mind was playing tricks on me. I was so nervous yesterday. Like, I was so nervous something was gonna break. I was so nervous I was gonna lose to a car I shouldn't lose to. Like, the head game got to me yesterday, and it's embarrassing to a point, but it's all part of the game, right? Like, you kind of psych yourself out, you freak yourself out about this stuff, and you know, I am a hardcore rookie when it comes to racing. Like, I have been to the track only so many times. I've only driven this car at the track, 3 days? I have 3 track days, 4 track days, 2 1/8 mile and 2 1/4 mile. So, yeah, I'm learning. So I'm still the infant of learning. I know a lot of you guys probably have never taken your car to the track. It's really fun. But I also know there's a lot of guys out there that have full stock bolt-on cars that have broken drive shafts. So I was talking with Ryan, and he made a joke. I was like, "Man, is it because I launched in the RPM range?" And he just looked at me like I'm crazy, because he's like, I'm literally staring at him sitting in his car running 200 more horsepower with the same exact converter, and he's launching in the 2,000, 2,200 range all day long, and his stock drive shaft on that car. And he's like, you know what it is? He's like, my car probably has a drive shaft made on Monday, and you probably have the Friday drive shaft. And I'm like, I just kind of laughed, you know? It's like, you never know. It's the luck of the draw. You never know how a component can fail. It just is what it is. And it comes with racing. If you're going to push your car to the limit, or try to get to the limit, which I'm trying to get the fastest time possible, things are going to break. And make sure you have a few bucks. Now, I could replace my drive shaft with a stock drive shaft. I found a couple online in the $300 mark. That's not that expensive. I mean, it's still $300 I have to spend to fix my car. I believe the drive shaft is something that I can personally swap out. I'll probably enlist the help of Bowtie Britches just to make sure I don't completely screw it up. Again, because I am not a professional mechanic. I'm not licensed or anything. And when it comes to this stuff and my safety and my car, I want to work with people who know what they're doing. And sure, I can get under there and put the drive shaft in place and get the bolts and everything, but you know, making sure that someone professional's there to help me and walk me through it, and you know, just that extra nod, right, of you did it right, you should be okay, I think that's worth a lot. So hopefully the learning that I'm going through here, replacing the drive shaft and all that stuff, is something maybe some of you will appreciate or not. I don't know. Either or, post down below. I do appreciate you checking out this content, and as always, thank you for being a part of the channel, the Lethal family, Lethal Garage family, everything. So likes, comments, shares appreciated, and until next time, guys, hope to see you on the road or hopefully the racetrack.